Hello, hello. How are you? How you guys doing tonight? What's going on? How you guys doing tonight? So where are you guys from in the world? Hey brother, how are you? I am from Kentucky. Where are you from? JR. Where are you from, JR? Hello, hello everybody. Where's everybody from tonight? From Iran. Well, hello from Kentucky. Giggles is from hello from the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Well, hello, Giggles. Demon King from North Carolina. Welcome, welcome everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? Good, I hope. Kind of a last minute. I had a little bit of time to kill before bed and just wanted to hop on here and see how you guys are doing tonight. Mary Cobb from North Central Florida. Very cold here. It's been very cold here in Kentucky too, so you're from Florida, so your definition of cold and my definition of cold might be different, but I believe you. You ever get scared? Absolutely. I'd be a liar if I said I never got scared, but yeah. Um, it's things can get creepy sometimes. The Spider, Connecticut here, cold now. Well, hello in Connecticut. I believe it's cold up in that area, definitely. Mary Cobb says, I'm from Kentucky, Western Kentucky. Been out Western Kentucky many times, Mary. Do you have any kids? Yes, I have two daughters, 14 and 12. It must be cold everywhere. If it's cold in Florida, it must be everywhere. Paul Phillips. Hey, brother, it's dropping off cold here in Florida. Apparently so, Paul. It's must be going around. It's actually starting to warm back up here. Today wasn't too bad, and I think tomorrow and Friday is going to be pretty nice, maybe up around 70 or so. But it actually snowed here Monday, I believe, Monday night. Hey, Chris, how are you? Thank you, Spider. I appreciate that. So you know where Paducah is? I sure do. I actually haven't been in Paducah, but close. I used to hunt for over 20 years in Muhlenberg County, Greenville, Central City, that area, if you're familiar with it. Demon King, bro, I have to wear two jackets this morning. It was cold this morning. Not as bad, but it was still pretty cool. Let's see. But it's been a great day, and we're thankful for it. Yeah. It's any day above ground's a good day, I guess they say. I've lived in quite a few haunted houses in Kentucky. There's a bunch of them here, Mary, that's for sure. I've had a couple of weird experiences in Western Kentucky. My family is from Burna, Kentucky. Not quite sure where that is. Is that Western Kentucky also? I'm trying to get in the habit of getting a routine. Yep, okay, I thought so. Of doing lives. I'm trying to see like what days most people are available. See if we can find a common ground, common area where your guys' schedules and mine don't clash. Have you ever heard of the channel Planet 412? That does sound familiar for some reason. Very small town. Okay, gotcha. Hello, Kelly. How are you? Thirsty tonight, guys. Don't know why. But yeah, I've heard of channel Planet 412. For some reason, that rings a bell in my head, I think. Do any of you guys had any snow yet? Maybe once a week. Demi, do you believe in vampires? Um, Not Hollywood vampires, no. I believe there are people who think they're vampires or try to be vampires and they do drink blood. You know, Dracula type vampires, no. But I will say, I do believe it's within the realm of possibility that demons can perhaps manifest as vampires, what we think of that you see on TV or in the movies. But I don't really think there's vampires like Hollywood portrays. Your channel's content is really interesting. Have you ever personally experienced seeing any supernatural beings? Yes, JR. Many times. Many times. Kelly says, I'm doing good. How are you? Finally got on your love your channel. Well, thank you so much, Kelly. I appreciate that. But I'm doing well. Thank you. Thought I would hop on here tonight and see how you guys are doing. Check in. Chris Miner, that was a good video about the Ouija boards. I believe that they were dangerous too. They are definitely dangerous. I know a lot of people disagree. Some people, have messed with them, played with them, and not had anything happen. I think that's probably the case for most people. But I know what I experienced when I was a younger kid, 12, 13 years old, maybe 14, probably 13 or 14. And those things are legit sometimes. Hi, Mary. How are you? Welcome. I like your channel. I watch it every single day. Well, thank you, Demon King. That means more than what you know. Thank you so much. Eddie Q-Nancer, your favorite. Yeah, I appreciate all of you guys. I know sometimes you guys comment on my videos, and I can't keep up with all of them, and I apologize for that. I try to respond to as many as I possibly can, but just know that even if I don't respond to a comment or something, please don't take it personal. I manage 4 platforms: TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and it's overwhelming. I'm blessed to have it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining, but between all 4 platforms, I have over 1.2 million followers, and I can't keep up with all the comments and messages. I try to as much as possible, but it's above what I can do. Not counting my emails. If I could show you my phone right now, just in my email, I have like 600 unread emails people send me. It's just a slow process. Kelly, they're energetic vampires. You'll know if you ever had one next to you. You could fall asleep standing next to one. They steal energy. Well, that's interesting, Kelly. I was not aware of that. I'll have to check into that. That's creepy. Mary says, I loved all the videos today you had for us. Well, thank you, Mary. I try. You know, you don't think about it. I posted the one long form YouTube video, which was like 17 minutes. Then I think I done 3 shorts, which I post across all my platforms: YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. It don't seem like much, but I probably, if you count the time I done my filming, editing, and research, I guess I put in probably 6 to 7 hours into that. It don't seem like it would take that long for those short videos, but it does. But again, I'm not complaining. I'm thankful. I enjoy doing it, but it's a process. Some days are better than others, but there are some weird kinds of ghosts all around the world. There's some weird stuff out there, brother. That's for sure. I responded to the Ouija board with my sister. That happened in Ledbetter, Kentucky in 1972. I'm sure that was a creepy experience. I wanted to go live, but I don't have 50 subscribers. I'm never quitting until I get 100 subscribers. Well, Demon King, I'll tell you the trick, and I'm no expert and don't pretend to be, but I never would have dreamed in 1,000 years I would have 1.2 million followers across 4 platforms. And I'll tell you the key to it: consistency. It's not because I'm anything special. I honestly don't know why anyone watches my stuff. I'm grateful for everyone who does, but you have to get the algorithm on your side too, and you do that by posting consistently, 2 to 3 times a day if you can. It was creepy. I'm a Christian, a seer, if you will. I have seen some really scary stuff in my life. I've seen the devil. They come after us so hard. That is very true. I know that for a fact. Thank you for all you do because I know it's hard work. Well, thank you, Mary. I appreciate that. It is, but I'm blessed and I'm thankful you guys take the time out of your day to watch and support what I do. It means more than you know. Hello, Marshall. How are you, my friend? Giggle says, when I worked out on Isle Royal National Park, one of my coworkers was messing with the Ouija board and he didn't see anything, but me and my roommate dealt with the spirits afterwards. That's, yeah, that happens. You can open things up by messing with these Ouija boards and all that occult stuff. And then sometimes you or others have to do cleanup. It can get messy, that's for sure. But yeah, Mary, I'm so grateful for you and everyone else who watches my stuff. It means the world. It's changing my life. I never thought it would. It's opened doors, made connections, and I hope I've got some things hopefully in store for future. My ultimate goal eventually, Lord willing, is to do this full time. And I don't think I'm that far off. I've had a blessed career in law enforcement. I've been doing it for over 20 years. But I think that ship has ran its course. I'm very passionate about this. I'm just in the stages of saving up, buying some equipment, cameras, things like that. And then I'll be bringing more long form content, like overnight investigations, things like that. Hello from Edinburgh, Scotland. Well, hello, Shandy. How are you? All the way across the pond. Thumbs up. Thank you, Mary. Demon King. One time I was at my grandpa's house. I went upstairs and I saw a demon in the room and a ghost. I don't know if I would, but it was a dream. It was real. It was messing up my mind. Well, that's what they do. They mess with your mind. They don't have to draw a ton of confusion, just a little bit, just enough to make you question things. So that psychological, spiritual warfare kind of go hand in hand. That's what they do. Thanks for the tips. Well, you're welcome. I know when I started social media, I started TikTok first. I knew nothing about TikTok. I thought it was just a bunch of kids dancing and lip singing, which it is, but through trial and error, for some reason, I had pretty good success on TikTok. And then Instagram kind of kicked off, then Facebook, and right now my YouTube is actually, I've started kind of focusing more on YouTube, um, but I've been very blessed with all of it. I'm good, thanks. Hope you are too. Love your clips. Thank you, Shandy. I appreciate that. I'm doing good. Mary says, I have a YouTube channel. I shared about the haunted houses we lived in. I took it down. I'm thinking of posting again. Well, you definitely should, Mary. It's a good outlet. It's a good release. It's kind of therapeutic in a way. Sometimes it's chaotic for me, juggling a full time job and trying to manage 4 different platforms. But I love it. But it is overwhelming sometimes. But if you've got something, pick something you're passionate about that you don't get tired of talking about, be it haunted houses, paranormal, or whatever it is, then you'll never get tired of doing it. You'll never feel like you're working. Not to say it doesn't get hectic, it does, but you should do it. Mary says, hello from Saskatchewan, Canada. Well, hello, Mary from Saskatchewan, Canada. How are you? Alex says, I just had to pop in and say I love your videos and appreciate all the work you put into bringing us awesome stuff. The rosary thing was valuable information. Those creatures are terrifying. Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I try. M4 Backer. Hi, remember me? I think so. Your name is memorable. I think so. How are you? Mr. Badge Bob. Hey there from Canada, man. Really enjoy your videos. Well, thank you. I appreciate that, Badger Bob. Thank you so much. It would be crocheting. Okay, well, whatever you're passionate about, Mary, for me, it's paranormal. Not just paranormal, but the spiritual side, if that makes sense. Like, to me, I'm a devout Christian. I fail daily. I'm not perfect by no means. And I don't come here making claims saying I know and understand everything. I don't. But I do believe the Bible is the Word of God, and I base my life, my choices around what the Bible teaches. And I guess I feel a calling to share what I believe to be biblically accurate. I feel like God has put me on that course. And so while I'm passionate and enjoy doing this, I also feel like it's a calling. So that makes it even more enjoyable to me. And I know that without the blessing of God, I would not have what I have because I couldn't do this on my own. Not that I'm saying I'm Mr. Beast or something. I'm definitely not, but I have been very blessed. Love and love from the Wales, UK. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I love your videos on Facebook and YouTube. Thank you. I appreciate that. Quick question. What is the time in your country? It is 9:30 p.m. What time is it where you're at? Do you know what makes me mad? That we are trying our best to edit videos and make good content on TikTok. These girls just have to smile when they get many likes and subscribers. Well, Demon, that's just life, brother. Pretty girls, they'll always have 1 or 2 up on us, and I'm alright with that. That just means we got to do a little more. But if you'll stay consistent and you post what you're passionate about and just be you, that's one thing I did stay true to when I started. If you couldn't tell, I have a very thick country accent. I talk slow, I have a southern drawl. I don't try to hide that. I enunciate and pronounce things the way I do it in real life. I don't try to change my voice. I don't try to sound like I'm from the city. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I'm not from the city. I'm from the mountains of eastern Kentucky. I sound like I'm from eastern Kentucky. Own it. Own who you are. Don't apologize for it. and be you. It's good to find someone who knows about the spiritual realm and not afraid to talk about it. Well, thank you, Mary. I feel like it's a calling more than just a hobby, and the Lord's opened doors for me that I never could have done on my own. Hello, Michael. How are you? What do you think about skinwalkers? Are they real? Don't you change who you are? Well, thank you, Kelly. I appreciate that. Skinwalkers, again, to me, skinwalkers, I think, are just another mask that demons wear. I think they can pretty much take on any form that they want, what we would call a skinwalker. Maybe just a typical ghost, maybe a Bigfoot, maybe a shapeshifter or a rake. Do I believe that it's just its own entity? And if I'm not mistaken, skinwalkers originate from the Native Americans, and it's like a medicine man kind of gone rogue who kind of has the ability to turn into an animal. And do I believe that? No. But I believe that they will appear that way just because some people are looking for that, if that makes sense. Really enjoy watching your content. Be safe, brother, from Knoxville. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate that, my friend. You have a calling on your life. You are a prophet. Well, thank you, Kelly. I don't know about that, but if I don't accomplish anything else through any of my social media, I hope I can point people toward the truth and toward Jesus Christ. If I've done that, then that's a good day. It's a successful day for me if I can do that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I would, I am monetized on YouTube. I am monetized on TikTok. A couple forms of monetization on Facebook and Instagram, but YouTube and TikTok are my biggest ones. If I can get to the point where that's my full time income, Lord willing, I hope that happens. If not, that's okay too. But I've been blessed with it. Amen. Well said. Well, thank you. Amen. Appreciate that. But yeah, we all have something we're good at. Some people have multiple things. I don't know that I'm, you see some people out there, it doesn't matter what they do, they're good at it. I'm not that type of person. I often wondered, what am I good at? And to be honest, I still don't know. But I will say that when it comes to this stuff, I feel like, the Bible talks about spiritual gifts when you become a Christian. There's several different ones, and I believe discernment is one that the Lord has blessed me with, and He gave me a platform, and so I feel obligated, and not just obligated, I have a desire to do this. Quick question. Are there coyotes in the Kentucky mountains? Absolutely, Demon King. I hear them all the time right around my house. I've seen them out my window several times. Gotta be up early for work. Appreciate you. God bless. Well, God bless you too, Marshall. Thank you for hopping on here with us. You have a blessed night, brother. Yeah, lots of coyotes. So if skinwalkers are real and they can shapeshift, why don't people try to research on it? I only see people just upload it on YouTube, but don't see any police or something trying to research on it. Hello, San Marino. Well, working in law enforcement, backer, M4 backer, we can't really justify or justify spending taxpayer dollars investigating paranormal. Now, I have responded to several paranormal calls, not knowing that when I got the call, but it ended up being that way. But, I think it takes people, like minded people like us, to investigate. But I will say you have to be cautious, because In my personal belief, these things are demonic. And I don't really ever think there will be that hardcore proof that everybody's looking for. I think these demons, everything's intentional. Like your equipment will malfunction, or you take a video or a picture and it still looks like it was shot from a potato. That's all by design, I believe. You'll get just enough to make you question, what is that? Is that real? Is that a demon? Is that really Bigfoot? Is that a ghost? What is it? I think that's by design. That's not accident. Hello, San Marino. Can you tell us some story on Supernatural while on the job? Oh, I've had a lot happen. Let me think. One time, early in my career, I worked at this college at a police department. And one of my responsibilities every night on night shift was the curfew at the college was 12 a.m. And we had to lock up the dorms. There was 4 or 5 dorms we had to lock up. Then we would have to go through all the buildings and do a walkthrough, turn the lights off, lock the doors. And this one particular night, just after I'd locked the dorms up, it was probably around 12:30 a.m. Um, yes, Mary, prayer always works. Have you ever won a play button yet? Not yet. When I get to 100,000, I'll get the play button. Hopefully, Lord willing, I'll get that. But anyway, about 12:30 a.m., I rolled to this building. It's a newer building. By new, probably 35 years old or more. But I walk in the front door. It's a 3-level, 3-story building. And on the third floor, I can hear what sounds like a party. Multiple people talking, shouting. At this time there was a lounge, had pool tables, ping pong tables, arcades. There was a big room, more like where the college kids would go hang out. But it was 12:30 and everyone should have been in their dorm, but it wasn't uncommon to catch them out occasionally after curfew. But when I walked in the building, I heard multiple people. In my mind, I thought I've just walked in on a party. They're upstairs having a kegger or something. And so, I'm kind of all excited and pumped. This was early in my career, so I thought I had a good bust. So I take my time. I snuck up the steps. When I got to the second floor, it became even louder. And I'd stop and listen periodically, and I could hear male, female voices, laughter, a party, or so I thought. So I meticulously made my way on up to the third floor, and just before I walk out of the stairwell, I stop once more. I could hear it now. The doors to that room was about 15 feet from where I'm at, and I know I've caught him red-handed. It's like right there. So I very slowly, thank you, Michael. I get my keys out to open this door, being very quiet. I walk up, I put the key in the door. My plan is to unlock it and just swing it open. And I do that, and no one's in there. The lights are out, TV's off, pitch black. I'm all alone. Or at least there were no other people there. I'll say that. Thank you, Mary. Um, but yeah, and I've had several situations like that where you are confident, you're sure that like you've stumbled up on someone breaking into a house or a building, or you do a walkthrough only to find out no one's there, and that's when the chills run up your spine. When I swung that door open and realized no one was in there, like chills ran down my body because I knew in that moment then what was going on. Because that place was notoriously haunted. I'd had all kinds of paranormal experiences, but I was sure that I mean, it's one thing if I just thought I heard a voice or two, but I heard what sounded like multiple people. I'm talking 15, 20 people or more. It sounded like a kegger, but there was no one there. So that made the rest of that shift rather uncomfortable. I was glad when it got daylight that next morning, to be honest. Yeah, it was creepy. In energetic imprint. Could be. I don't know what it was. I know I didn't like it. But over a career of, let's see, 25 years, you witness quite a few things. And not all of the things are that bad, but some of them are. Great story on your job. Thank you, Mary. And what's the most scariest thing happened in your life? Oh, one of the scariest things I ever witnessed was we were doing a paranormal investigation one night. This same college. I was off the clock, but there was one place in particular we would go to. It was an auditorium, like a stage, and had all the seating and a huge catwalk, where the lights shine down. And we would just go in there and like sit on the stage. We'd turn the lights off, and usually we would hear and see quite a bit. So this particular night, there was probably 7 or 8 of us. There was quite a few of us. But one of the guys who was with us at that time, he was probably still in high school. He's a Kentucky State Trooper now. But he was terrified of the paranormal. He didn't like it. He just went because we kind of made him go, honestly. But because stuff, he was one of those type people that things picked on. Like if something happened, it would happen to him. So we sat down that night on the stage like we often did with our legs dangling off the side of the stage. And he's sitting to my right on the end. And after we'd been there 7 or 8 minutes, he said, "Do you see that face?" And I said, "No, what are you talking about?" He said, I see a face like right in front of my face. I said, "What is it?" He said, "I don't know." He said, "It looks like a devil face." That's what he said. He described it what we would think of a devil with horns and all that. He said, but it looked like it was made out of smoke. And I just kind of shrugged it off, and I said, it's probably just your eyes playing tricks on you. It's, we were in the light, now it's dark. I said, just give it a few minutes till your eyes adjust, and you'll be okay. So a few minutes would go by, and I would ask him, I said, "Mikey, do you still see that face?" And he was like, "Yeah." He said, "It's right there." I said, "Just close your eyes, it'll go away." A few more minutes go by. Yeah, it's still there. And I kind of forgot about it. And after about probably 10 more minutes, I didn't even really, I realized he got up, but he didn't register. He got up and walked across the room, which was a big room. And he typically did not do that. He likes being beside of people. That was very uncharacteristic of him. And I didn't really think anything of it. I was talking to another friend on my left, and he had been gone for a couple minutes or so. And one of my other friends that was with us had went over to where Michael was. And he came to me and said, "Go over and stand by Mikey." We called him Mikey. I'm like, "What's up?" And he said, "Just go over there." So I get up, still not really, it didn't register. And when I got within probably 7 or 8 feet of him, he was just standing over against the far wall, just face to face with the wall, like you've seen the Blair Witch Project at the end when they're just like facing the wall. That's what he was doing. But when I got within 7 or 8 feet of him, I could feel a temperature change, like it was colder. The closer I got to him, it was colder. And I said, "Mikey, are you okay? What are you doing?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm good." It sounded perfectly fine, just like he was out on a warm, sunny day in the middle of summer. I was like, "Are you okay?" "Oh, yeah, I'm fine." I was like, I kind of grabbed him by the arm. I said, "Walk over here with me." And I led him back in front of the stage. And I just kept, because he sounded weird. Because he had been like scared. Now he seemed perfectly fine over in the dark by himself. The temperature is much colder all around him. And he just kept saying, "Yeah, I'm fine, no problem." And I turned the light on. I had a flashlight, and his eyes were black. I don't mean black like the movies, his whole eyeball, but they were blacker than they should have been. They wasn't normal. And then I knew something was wrong. And I remember I led him over to the stage and had him sit down. And I said, "Do you feel okay?" "Yeah." I said, "Do you still see that face?" "Oh yeah, yeah." I said, "Where's it at?" "He's sitting right here beside of me." And he pointed to the stage beside of him. I said, "You see this thing right now?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, he's sitting here." And I looked at my other friends and I said, "We got to get him out of here." And we immediately kind of started praying over him. And then we let him outside. Then when we got outside, it's just like he snapped out of it and he just didn't really remember anything. He just remembered sitting beside of me initially, seeing that face and the everything that followed after that. He didn't remember. And he was absolutely terrified. He didn't. He stayed with us until it got daylight that morning, and then he went straight to church. Now, I'm not saying he got possessed that night, but he had an attachment for sure. And I said all that to say this: that's probably the scariest thing I've ever witnessed firsthand. But yeah, sorry, I get off on a tangent sometimes. I apologize. I had a spirit come to me, and it was our grandma, Mary. She passed. I was 16. Oh, now I'm 61. It was the real deal. I felt angels, their hands like our hands, wonderful, but never saw or felt one sense. Well, that's amazing, Mary. God will give us those little moments sometimes just to give us that reassurance, that touch. You know, letting us know our loved ones are okay. I know exactly what you mean. Mr. Mango says rented a house in 2011 that had demonic forces. I don't doubt that a bit. I stayed in a beach house one time that was very haunted in Florida. Beef Triceratops. Nah, bro, I'm scared now. I'm home alone. My bad, brother. My bad. You're an excellent storyteller. Well, thank you. I'm long winded. I get off on a tangent. I start telling stuff. I just lose track of what I'm doing. I apologize for that. But I so enjoy your channel because of you. I make sure the drapes are closed at night. Well, thank you. And I'm sorry that I added stress to your night. But hey, ghost or no ghost, it's probably a good idea to close your drapes at night. There's a lot of weirdos out there. But in Appalachia, that's one of the unwritten rules. Close your curtains at night, lock your doors. Do I do that? No. Not every night, some nights. I do lock my doors, usually, sometimes. But there are some people who swear by it. Like there are some people who will not open their curtains at night. I make it sound like people don't go outside after dark in Appalachia. I mean, that's not true. But I think that's for people who live more isolated, like maybe on top of a mountain by themselves or in the head of a holler. They just I don't know. There's a extra creepy vibe. I don't know. It's weird. Like the mountains are different at night. I don't know how to explain that unless you've ever been out in the mountains at night by yourself or even with someone. Like they have a different vibe. Something's different. I heard that cats and dogs scares away ghosts. Some people told me is it true? I have heard that. I mean, I can't say nothing definitive. I don't know that for sure, but I have heard that theory. Now I do believe that animals can see things that we can't. Thank you for that. Was it boxing? Thank you so much for that. God bless you. Um, but I do believe animals have the ability to see things we can't. I have witnessed that. I've seen dogs like staring off, barking in a room when there's been absolutely nothing there. Now, my cat, I have a dog and a cat in the house. We recently just got a cat about a month or so ago. My wife found it at her where she works. It was a stray. So we ended up with a cat. And I will say, it's a sweet cat, but it's crazy. It keeps me up all night. And it almost barks. I've never heard a cat that barks. It is very vocal. Boxing fan, hello, my friend. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. God bless you. Babies can see through the veil. They sure can. Babies, small children, absolutely. If you guys hadn't heard my story, I think I shared it on my last live. My first paranormal experience was when I was 4, and I can remember it like it was yesterday. There are things in the woods that defy logical explanation. I agree 100%. Alex says, my stepmom passed in May. Sorry for your loss. She woke me and my brother up the same exact minute she passed. We also have a ghost as teens while we were basically remaking our whole house. It wasn't shy at all. I believe that, and I have experienced that over the years as well. When you start doing renovations to a place, to a building or a house, that stirs things up. I've seen that several times actually. But I am sorry for your loss. I've had my cat surround me at times while staring at something I cannot see. I have heard there are people who believe that cats and dogs have the ability to scare these things off or something. Who knows? Maybe. My cat was looking at something. I didn't see anything. I guess she saw something. There was nothing there. Thank you, Alex. That's very possible. Like I said, I have personally witnessed dogs do that same thing. Just stare into a what I thought was an empty room, but maybe it wasn't empty. And I also just want to say, too, like you guys who send gifts, if I miss it, I'm so sorry. I apologize. Again, I get off on tangents. But I do want you to know, for those of you who do, that goes toward my fund for cameras and gear. I'm not out here blowing it on at Walmart unless it's just something I need for my production stuff. But thank you so much. And I'm not asking you guys to do that, but for those of you who do, God bless you. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm not out here wasting it. I'll say that. I appreciate every bit of it. Thank you. Any of you guys have to work tomorrow like I do, unfortunately? It's 9:54 where I'm at. I'll let you know when I post again my experiences and living in haunted houses in Kentucky. Well, please do, Mary. I'd definitely check that out. Thank you. I love learning about people's experiences like that. What they experienced and were, and that's the type of thing that's always just gets me excited. I don't. It's weird, I guess, but I'm a cat person, and my older sister, dog person, but she used to have 2 cats in her life. Animal lovers we are. Well, we are too. We've always had dogs. I've had cats like when I was little, growing up. They stayed outside, and we actually have 2 cats that do stay outside. 2 male cats, orange cats, and if you know anything about orange cats, they're crazy. But one of them's been gone for a couple weeks now. I think he done this last year, looking for a mate. I'm guessing. We're hoping he comes back. We give up on him last year, and he showed back up. So maybe. Um, are you related to Rebecca Gayhart, the actress from Hazard, Kentucky? I am, Chris. Yes. I don't really know her. I know a lot of her family. I've seen her. She still comes in and visits every year. I see her sometime, but I don't like know her. But now her nephew, Matt, he's one of my best friends. He and I used to work together. He's a Kentucky State Trooper. He went to film school out in L.A. for a while. Well, he got his degree, uh, but then he moved back, I think, in 2010, I believe. And I got him a job at my department. He wanted to go into law enforcement, and he worked with me for probably a year or two. And then, but he's now a Kentucky State Trooper. But yeah, Rebecca's mom and dad live about 5, 6 minutes up the road from where I'm at right now. I haven't seen her in a while, but she comes in still every year. And Rebecca's, I know it says on Rebecca's thing that she's from Hazard, but she's actually from Knott County, Kentucky, which is about 30 minutes from Hazard. I saw that in Mexico. They saw the Mothman. I was like, Mexico? Hey, I was the same way. I thought Mothman was only Point Pleasant, West Virginia, but since I've been doing this, I've heard stories from all over the world, honestly. I didn't know that. I'm disabled and don't work. I get SSDI, lots of health issues. Well, I'm sorry for those health issues. I'll be praying for you, Mary. I have an idea if ghosts scare us or hunt us, why don't we hunt or scare them back? And then I will say, if you can go through the wall, go bring me a drink from the kitchen, and the ghost will run away. Hey, I like the way you're thinking, Biker. Absolutely. That's cool. Yeah, I'm all about that. And I will say, paranormal experience I had one time, but actually, it's kind of what you're talking about. Um, I was the police department we were in before the building we're in now. It was an old 2-story building, and one night, me and another few of my officers late at night, we would go down to the gym. It was at this college, everybody was in bed or asleep, gone. We would go down and play basketball. This was during the summer, like all the college kids were gone except for a handful. We wasn't busy. So we'd go play basketball, do whatever. We came back one night after playing. It was hot. It was hot outside, and muggy and sticky. And we walked inside the police station. And it was hot, muggy, and me and one of my coworkers, we sat down and just talking, and we both started talking about we need to get up and turn the air conditioner on because it was hot. About 10 seconds later, something you could hear the air conditioner just flip on, and the AC come on. And he and I just looked at each other and kind of grinned. And we both were just like, thank you. Appreciate it. So that ghost or whatever it was helpful that night. So, yeah. Yeah, it was that's a true story. That happened to us. That's been probably close to 20 years ago, maybe 20 years ago. But that's a true story. The AC come on by itself, so we wasn't too upset or scared. I actually just got back from a trip in West Virginia on the road. At 3 a.m., there was a creature almost like a dog, but we have never seen it before. Then it stood up. We rammed it, got out, no blood, no guts, no dents. Yeah, I don't know how I like that, JR. That sounds kind of freaky. There's a lot of things in West Virginia, I'll say that. A lot of cryptids, a lot of Dogman, Bigfoot, all kinds of monsters in West Virginia. So tell me what you hit. Sounds like you went through it though. Kelly says, import backer, we can scare the heck out of them. If you have angels or guardian angels, ask them to surround them. They will do whatever you ask. That's true, Kelly. Absolutely. And that's one thing I try to emphasize a lot, and I forget and fail. But I talk a lot about demons and scary things. But on the flip side of that, there are angels, and God is with us. We have protection from those things. But I guess what I try to do is just warn people because the Bible talks about devil being a liar and the father of it, and I think a lot of people are deceived, and I just try to shed light on that stuff. But there is definitely good out there, absolutely. Mary says, I used to be a nurse aide for 17 years till I got on my disability. My mom was an RN and her mother and my other grandma was an LPN. 3 generations of nursing work on my mom's side. Well, that's awesome, Mary. Thank you for your service and your family. I appreciate that. I really do. Thank you. How the heck am I supposed to get an angel? We got angels. They're around us all the time, Backer. Uh, there are angels just like evil is real. There are demons and darkness, but there are angels out there too. A pastor friend of mine told me one time, and I believe this wholeheartedly, if we could see everything that was around us, we couldn't sleep at night. There are bad things, but there are also good things. There is a spiritual war going on around us all the time, and we're involved whether we know it or want to be or not. We pick a side. Which side are we on? You know, and we all mess up. We all fail. None of us are perfect, and the Lord knows that. But we just have to try to do a little bit better every day. Better than we did yesterday. You just had a spirit next to you. Do you guys see it? That's creepy. Stop scaring me. I'm home alone. Please stop. You're good. Bama CP said, well, hello, Bama. How are you? I feel you, Backer. Sarah Smith said, good evening, neighbor from Carter County. Well, hello, neighbor. How are you? How's things in Carter County? Yeah, this preacher in Kentucky said if we could see the spirits around, it would scare the hell out of us. He's right. Absolutely, 100%. And I think that's what happens a lot of times. When people do see things that, like, for some reason, I don't know how or why or when, but sometimes we do get a glimpse into that world. That's when we do see things. And I think that's where a lot of these ghost sightings and things come from. Sarah says, good. Hope you're well. I sure am, Sarah. Hope all's well with you, too. Hello, Alec. Hello, my friend. There are angels assigned to you. You were born. Yep, I believe that. JR says, I just farted. Well, sir, best of luck to you. Ever watched the movie Nefarious? Definitely an eye opener. I've heard about it. I haven't watched it, but I have heard that's a good movie. I need to watch that. Do you pray? Ask God to show you. That's right. God is just a prayer away. Ask and you shall receive. Is there times that these forest monsters generally get more active? I mean, I haven't personally seen a pattern. Like, I've not seen a time when things are worse than others. Maybe they are, but in my experience, be it the things out in the forest or haunted houses or buildings, whatever it may be, you usually experience it more when you're not looking for it. If I was to go out to the mountains tonight, probably wouldn't nothing happen if I go looking for it. If I go back tomorrow night, just for whatever reason, then I'll probably experience it. Seems like that's how it happens often, more often than not. Yes, I do, but I'm just scared to tell God to show me. Well, you don't have to be scared. Anything that God will reveal to you will come with a peace that only He can, a peace that surpasses all understanding. His anything from the Lord ain't scary. You don't have to be scared of that. I find comfort in knowing that angels are around us. It's a good thing. You don't have to be scared of that. I see things in my peripheral vision when I turn to look and it's gone. They say peripheral vision is a glimpse through the veil. I've heard that. I've heard multiple people say that, and that's possible. But I will also say, and this is true from my own personal experiences, probably a good portion of things that we encounter that we think are paranormal probably isn't. I try to look for logical reasons because there have been times I have been convinced, like 1000%, what I just witnessed or experienced with paranormal, it was a ghost, whatever. Then I go to look, check it out, and then there's a natural reason. So, I mean, things do happen that, you know, are natural things, but that isn't to say that paranormal stuff doesn't happen too. It does. I think it's just good to, if you can debunk it or try to, see if you can. But you do see things out of the corner of your eye. I know what you're talking about. I've seen things just like that. Yes, from all the stories seen, they seem to show themselves to people who are off guard and unexpected. Yeah, that's typically how it works. Kelly, yes, what else did I agree, Mary Cobb. Kelly, God don't give me fear. I get fear from by my own. Yeah, that's right. You know, the Bible says God did not give us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and of sound mind. So fear is not of God. Fear is of the devil. You know, the God and Jesus throughout the Bible says, fear not, fear not, fear not. So if you feel fear, it ain't from God. Now, He gives us sense, common sense, reason, the ability to reason to know, like, if I go and lay down in the road, I may get hit by a car. That's a different kind of fear. That's common sense type fear, but not the type of fear that keeps you up at night and keeps you scared. That ain't the kind of fear God gives us. I'm just a scared guy. Brother, there ain't nothing. We all get scared sometimes. Just leave it on, Mary said. There you go. That's exactly what I'm saying. Cancel, bind, and rebuke all fear. Amen. Michael says, I'm honestly more afraid of people than I am supernatural. That's smart. And to a degree, that's very true. I mean, there's a lot of crazy, weird people out there. I've dealt with them for many years. I can confirm that. When are you going to do the next live? I need to go. Backer, I'm not sure. What is today? Wednesday? Possibly tomorrow. I hope to do at least one more this week, maybe two more. Um, I'm going to try to get a schedule eventually. That way, everybody knows, whatever nights I'm going to do it, I can post it. Right now, I'm just trying to get back in the swing of things, but maybe tomorrow, possibly. If you don't feel it's possible, God is real. It is okay to decide you want to believe He is real and become a Christian. If you don't feel it's possible, God is real. Is it okay to decide do you want to believe He is real? Here's the thing with God. If you get serious with God, if you pray to God and say, Lord, I'm not sure. I don't know if I believe in you. Reveal yourself to me in a way that only you can, to where I know that you're real. He will. May not happen like that, but He will, in His way, in His timing. There is a God, I promise you. I can't prove to you that. I can't. I can tell you the experiences I've had, but it's still not going to convince you. You have to have a personal relationship with Him. You ask Jesus to come into your heart. You repent, turn from sin. You're still going to sin, but you'll feel different about it. But pray. That's all you got to do. If you're unsure, pray. It's okay. He wants people to be curious. If you don't understand or you're not fully convinced, that's okay. Pray. Ask Him to show Himself, reveal Himself, and He'll probably do it in a way that you least expect. Right. Human beings are more scarier than ghosts are. That's true. Amen. Thank you so much. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. And also, guys, I say this all the time. If you guys have TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, I would appreciate it if you would follow me on those platforms as well. Um, let's see. I have told people to picture a brilliant white cross in their minds and picture it moving towards and encompassing whatever end the ghost, etc. is there. Well, light always defeats darkness. What's it? The darkness couldn't comprehend the light. It can't exist in light. So, yeah, the power of the cross, Jesus Christ, God, it's all light. That's all you got to do. Call upon that. Who's your favorite country singer? I don't know. I have a lot. A few. I like all different things. I prefer older country music, honestly. I listen to some of the newer stuff. I would say My daughter, my youngest daughter, she listens to Morgan Wallen nonstop, so I hear a lot of that. But I like older country, Keith Whitley, Alabama, people like that. I only have YouTube. That's okay, Mary. That's fine. I'm just saying if you have those other platforms, I appreciate it. If not, that's okay too. I appreciate you being here, and that's good enough. I appreciate all of you guys. And I'm trying to post to get in the habit. It's just it takes a lot of work where I'm trying to post 2 long form videos a week, even if it's just me storytelling right now. I posted one today. I'm gonna try to post another one probably Sunday. And I do post the shorts, at least 2, sometimes 3 of those every day. But I appreciate all of you guys. Do you like bluegrass gospel? I like gospel music, bluegrass gospel. Some of it, I'm not a huge bluegrass fan, but some of it I like. But I do like gospel music. Oh yeah, I'm 17. My favorite is Johnny Cash and Dwight Yoakam. Hey, those are OGs. There's nothing wrong with that. How about some Hank Williams Sr. for older? I like Hank Williams Sr. and Jr. I was in a bluegrass gospel group in Kentucky. Well, that's awesome, Mary. That's awesome. I can't sing. I try to play guitar, or used to. I'm not very good, or never was very good, but I enjoyed trying to play. Never good enough to be in a group. But I always had a lot of admiration for people who could play music or instruments, sing. The Lord did not bless me that way, but that's all right. But guys, I appreciate you. It's after 10 now, and I do have to work tomorrow, unfortunately. But I thank you all so much. God bless you. Thank you for hopping on here with me. And if I'm able to tomorrow, I will be back. I can't promise you anything because I don't know one day to the next what I'm going to be doing. Um, I've been playing them old bluegrass songs here in Florida. That's all right, Mary. Absolutely. Let her fly. Hey, James. Brother, I apologize. I was just getting off here. Thank you for hopping on. I'm so sorry. I've been on here now for a little over an hour. My voice is starting to go. And I do have some stuff to do before work tomorrow. But good night to all of you guys. Nice talking to all of you. Thank you for the questions and for spending time with me. And I may be back tomorrow. I'm going to try to. But um, thank you for the stories. Well, thank you all. God bless you all and good night. And you all have a blessed day tomorrow. I'll see you soon.